Nah. Who's part of your family now?
Jeez. Let's go ask Mendoza. And grab a couple of candles, go to Pro Kid and Jeba and Mendoza. I know where they lie. There isn't a single day I don't think of them.
Wow.
In fact, to Jeba, I suspected nothing because he used to come to my house and sit there. I might.
Ladies and gentlemen, today has a very special edition of Podcast and Chill, man. I've been trying to get this guy on for 2 years now. You know, in music, there's music that's just timeless, you know?
Yeah.
There's shows that are just timeless.
Yeah.
I think this interview is going to be one of those, man, because you are like, I don't even want to say a legend because that's misused lately. Like, you're an icon, bro.
Yes, it's funny. Today in the morning, I was thinking of Brenda Fassie.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking 1984, maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe that's her first album.
Yeah.
And she's still alive.
Yeah. Through the music.
Up to today.
Yeah.
I was thinking, I think I heard her first song in 1984.
Damn. What song was that?
I think me do
la do dee.
So I was like, it must have been 1984.
Yeah, were you close with her?
Yeah, I grew close to her because at some point bekahlale Zola.
Yeah.
And then I grew up and then I became humbly famous myself, and I would meet her on the shows and stuff, and I don't know if you can pull it that long.
Yeah.
I don't know. Oprah, where's that jersey?
Here's the jersey. The jersey is right here. Here's the jersey. Oprah, please give us the jersey. Here,
I brought you this to see.
Yeah. And these are nice as well. Eh?
I think this was made on Brenda Fassie's first album.
Wow.
This was made by my mom.
By your mom?
Yeah, it's about 1984, 85.
Wow.
This was my jersey when I was living in KZN in 1986.
Before you moved to Joburg in 88, ne?
I started in Joburg, then I went to KZN, then I came back. So I thought today, I was like, Oprah, take it off the wall.
Yeah.
I need to come and... Oh, by the way, there's Tabombeki behind it. This is original Tabombeki's frame.
Tabombeki's frame?
Yes, it's behind right here.
Yeah.
So I thought I'd come and show you this because there was a time when our moms used to
knit,
make things.
Yeah.
Ngezandla zabo. And before I left for KZN, 1986, I found this jersey in my suitcase in 1985. Then I concluded then, okay, that means Sengfunde KZN.
Yeah.
So,
and which school was this? Which school was this? Because you went to so many schools, man.
This was Etulini Primary School.
Yeah.
Before I went to Evumelani Primary School in Newcastle. So, and then one day I just went as Zola. I dug into a box in Damalache and I found this jersey.
Wow.
So that's one of the things I look at in the morning before my day starts.
And it just makes you feel good, man.
Yeah.
It makes you feel good.
There was a time, my man. There was a time when our moms made everything by hand.
Yeah.
And this is one of them. And I'm lucky to have found it.
Were you close to your mom or your dad or both parents?
I'm close to both of them. I mean, the more you grow, you understand things more. Whatever the anger I thought I had towards my dad, it ended. And then we ended up with like serious conversations.
Why were you angry at your dad?
Because sometimes you get taught things as a child. Okay? And then you like some people train you to hate your father. And then eventually you get curious. I mean, there's no way I could have done Zola 7 without confronting my father. Okay? I can't be dealing with other people's problems without dealing my own. So then I had these conversations with my dad. I think I was old enough. And then I found out what kind of a guy he is. So there is a difference between your father having left you and then your father having been denied of you. Yeah, sometimes we grow up with a lot of things as wrong. And then one day now you become a dad and stuff and everything. And you have your own woman problems, and then you get curious, and then you confront your dad because there's all of these things that you've always wanted to say for the past 35 years. And then you get there, and guys just calm down. He says, calm down, asikhulume. Let me tell you my version of the story. And then you get the version of the story, and then you go back home. You have nice gin, pack of cigarettes, and then you reflect the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then you're like, I need to talk to my dad.
What was his version of the story?
His version of the story was everything that I didn't know.
Yeah.
So it kind of like 50% of my life.
Wow.
So I think Saploma from about 5, Dambama, until about 5 exen. Splomil and just talk.
Yeah.
And Nami, I had a lot of things to ask, which I feel good here. A lot of sons should really be asking. And a lot of daughters should also really be asking, because you can't be a good lover as a woman unless you confront maybe your father's side of the family.
Yeah.
And you can't be a good lover as a man until you confront your father's side of the family, and then find out whether abantu are wrong or abeko wrong and stuff, and then make your own conclusions depending on now how old you are.
Yeah.
Okay. So there are demons. Quite the artist na my microphone. What are you doing?
Don't worry, that's why I'm here.
What are you doing?
Don't worry, that's why I'm here.
This is tempting. So what you do is, as a woman or as a man at a certain age, you need to confront all members of the family. Your father's side, your mother's side, and then you're going to find some kind of peace guwe, and then maybe you'll become a better lover and become a better parent. But in it's not an easy thing to do. It's very difficult to do, depending on and what kind of angers that you have. But that these are demons that we all have to confront.
Yeah.
Sooner or later.
But do you think without those demons, do you think your music would have been as great as it was?
Probably it would have been slightly different, but I would have still had some issues that I needed to confront, because as a young man, when you're growing up, there's things, you create your own problems, and then you're also born into certain situations that may be problems.
Yeah.
Okay? So you inherit certain problems, and then you create your own problems. So these are all demons that sooner or later
catch up with you.
Ngzothi latest 25. You need to confront them.
Yeah. What were your demons growing up?
I think I left home a little bit too early. Mhlambe age 19. And I think being away from home in like 1986 also affected me. But there's also the fact that I did study psychology at least for 1 year. So I did find I studied with Piaget.
Yeah.
I did find some answers about myself and confronting my own demons. And also the fact that it's okay to be different.
Yeah.
Okay? Discover other things about yourself that even your grandparents might have not discovered about themselves. Okay? And then you move on. Otherwise, the whole point of Zola 7 is pointless.
Yeah.
Young Tol?
Yeah.
So you have to be different. And I think a lot of young people have to accept, if they feel different, they have to accept that they are different. Yeah. They have to accept that they may not be like their mother, they may not be like their father or their grandmother or their grandfather.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that. Because otherwise, we wouldn't have been here.
Yeah.
Okay? And then, abomkhulu bethu, they left KZN. Okay? Idladla lakithi eZola 2. They got their house in 1962. So, but it needed to take my grandmother and my grandfather to leave KZN, to go live at Alexandra, and then eventually end up as Soweto, and then eventually end up as Zola. So there must always be the initiator.
Exactly.
With family.
Yeah.
Otherwise, our families would not be having doctors and lawyers and stuff. Like you come from uneducated people, but now you are a lawyer. You come from uneducated people, but now you are a doctor. You come from uneducated people, but now you are an accountant.
A podcaster.
Yeah. Somebody, So somebody has to initiate. And then when you initiate, then it becomes a family culture.
Yeah.
Then everybody will go to high school and everybody will go to varsity because now this is now a family norm. So we all had to start.
But do you think there was anything lacking from your childhood?
Till now we had an amazing childhood.
Wow.
Other than apartheid, which was a nuisance. There was food. People did not die. There was no HIV. There was no COVID. Everybody was there. Everybody washed on Sundays and went to church. Everybody played on Saturdays. And there was like an abundance of food, even in that difficult situation.
Yeah.
So I don't think I have many complaints.
And when does the music bug bite you? Because I've got some cassettes here. Hey,
I'm gonna kill you.
Look at this.
Who gave you my cassette?
Tell us about this one. Which one is this one?
Oh my God.
Which cassette is that one?
These are my first 2 demos.
Wow.
This is early 90s.
Yeah.
Now, footy just like the Jersey, I found them.
Yeah.
Now, here's a strange thing about both of them. They were both paid for by Utemba Mkhize and Jabu Kanye. Because I did not have money.
Yeah.
I think it was $3.50 an hour at Dobsonville Extension 3. So they paid for both of these. I've never released this.
Wow. The music in there.
It's about 25 songs.
Damn.
I've never released them. I leave these for my kids. And then, couple of weeks back, I find this. Barori Sibamurena, Dipeko, live in church. I've not seen this in about 25 years.
Dude, so, I'm getting goosebumps right here, man.
Who gets Barori Sibamurena in a cassette?
Hey.
So I think I'm going to frame this with this. I'll frame
So
them.
no one knows these songs.
Nobody knows these songs.
You remember the songs though?
Yes, the one of them was called the Black Panthers because it was me and a couple of guys. And then another one was just me alone. And Ujabu Kanyele, I don't know how many years it's been gone.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if Ubaba Utemba Mkize still remembers me as a kid. This is before Zola. I was called Ukush.
Yeah, Kush. Yes. I know. Yeah.
So these are extremely valuable to me. Sometimes life gets simpler.
Yeah.
So I keep them. And I just thought today, Guti, maybe I should bring them. Uzo Abon. I think these two are probably older than you.
No cap. Yeah, you're so right, man.
I remember when you were stupid. There was a photo home.
Yeah.
I think it was the YFM beach party.
Oh, yes.
Somebody spiked your drink.
In Mozambique.
And you passed out. And I was like, people are sabotaging you and it's so early.
I remember that picture.
I think you were less than 20.
Yeah.
I was like, it's way too early for this.
I just started, man. I remember that picture. I just started, eh?
Yeah, I was like, somebody just sabotaged you here. I know this industry very well.
Yeah, I know, man.
You can have one drink and pass out.
Yeah.
I was like, something happened here.
Yeah.
Something very bad happened here.
But what's your relationship like with the industry? Because I get a feeling like it's a love-hate in terms of you love the people, but not so much what it comes with being famous.
It's changed now. Nzokutshela, for an example, you're podcasting now.
Yeah.
Okay? There was a time when there was no podcast. There was no smartphones. There was no SMS. There was no WhatsApp.
Instagram.
None of those. Instagram, none of those. So whatever went on Sunday, went on Sunday.
And that was the gospel.
That was the gospel. And you couldn't do a thing about it. But now if somebody writes something about me on Sunday, if I choose, I can respond same Sunday or I can respond on Monday. So the game has changed. But there was a time when everything that was written on Sunday, which people made billions out of us, okay, was the gospel truth. And unfortunately, other people died unhappy. Sengikhuluma ngabo Pro Kid, nabo Mandoza, nabo Jeba, nabo Sis Brenda Fassie. Other people died unhappy because of what was happening to them in the media. But nowadays, we can change it. I can get all of these guys to shoot my own podcast.
Yeah.
Right?
And speak your truth.
Yeah. And speak my truth and tell my story or my lies.
Yeah.
Yeah. But now it's changed. There was just a time when it could not be controlled. It was white-owned, sorry to be racist, and it was there. It made a lot of money for a lot of people that we did not know, and it gave nothing to us except threaten our careers. So nginokuzibuza mangidlule West Park Cemetery. Okay? Mangiyaleza nseChrist ukuthi amachita, how are they sleeping? Lapha Heroes Ache. Are they happy? Or are they not happy? But these things happened and they couldn't do a thing about it.
Because you're fortunate enough now you can tell your truth.
Yes,
you know?
I can tell the truth. But I mean, like inqosi. I mean, if people are not getting royalties today, if people are not getting their intellectual property today, that means these kids are no longer going to the schools that their fathers intended for them to go to. Okay? And they're never going to get the cars and they're never going to inherit anything. And then who owns the intellectual property of who? Me, I can fight. I'm still alive. Marabantu bashonile.
They can't.
And if I were to die today, my mother knows nothing about the music industry.
Yeah.
Okay? There are 4 women that have children with me, which are 7. They know nothing about the music industry. So who would fight? For my kids to get their intellectual property every month until they get to varsity, until they all finish at varsity.
Which you rightfully deserve.
So that's how bad the damage is.
Yeah.
in the music industry space. And of lately, I've been hearing, now jumping into television, I've been hearing ukuthi a lot of shows have been canned.
Yeah.
Shows are being killed.
Yeah.
And people are losing jobs. That means all of those people are going to child court and some of them are going to prison. Because now shows are being killed. And who stole the money? What happened to them? What happened to the couple of billions that were allocated by government? And why are people losing jobs today? And didn't I talk about this about 15 years ago?
Yeah, you did. And they thought you were crazy.
Yeah, and they thought, no, he's angry. And I was like, guys, there's something very wrong happening here. There's no way ukuthi kungalahleka i-1 billion in a year that is supposed to pay an artist. And people lost jobs, and people died broke.
How bad was the assassination on your career from the media that you say? Because back then, bro, like they were going at you every weekend.
I cannot be assassinated. It's impossible to kill Zola. But that boy called Nwako Malachi, and that girl called Nombuso Zondi, and that girl called Cassandra Goodloser, they had a personal vendetta against me. And they used the resources of the companies that they were working for to try and attack my career. It's just that the fact that it didn't happen.
Yeah, didn't land.
Yeah, I even ended up in court at some point with this boy, or Nwako Malachi, who, by the way, turned out to be working no lands with one of my baby mamas.
Huh? How so?
Yeah?
How so?
Because Ulans was paying them.
Paying them to do what?
To do what they, because I'd left the company.
So he was paying your baby mama?
Yes, I even saw the contract.
To speak ill of you?
Yes, and the contract came from Media 24.
Damn it.
So when I left the company, people started now attacking me directly because they were being paid elsewhere. But they did not understand the whole thing. Uguthi, say like if you baby mama, ne? And then you attack me. At some point, it's over nama results.
Yes.
And the people that are paying you to attack me are not always gonna be there.
Yeah.
You're gonna end up with me, and then says nenkinga yomntwana, and then says attend the child court. And those people who are paying you are not always gonna be there. So when you act out of anger, eventually it comes back to bite you. That's basically how it is. So whoever got paid to say whatever they wanted to say, ngozola, or whatever was composed ngami that they needed to say, it's now come back to bite them.
Because the truth is coming out.
That's basically how it is. Even if the truth doesn't come out, the fact is that if I'm making 500,000 a month and you attack me, right? I'm gonna end up at 50,000 a month. And at 50,000 a month, you're the one who's gonna suffer. That's basically how it works. So, in media, the white media, why is this guy sneaking in?
Don't scare Zola, dog.
Hey, the white-owned media made a lot of money out of black people. They almost never write anything about their own white people. Okay? They made a lot of money out of black people. And then those people today are mostly dead. Our second Flavian, Abanye, they committed suicide. Abanye, they went too much into drugs. Abanye, they went into depression. And those people are now dead. So the reality of it is that we've attended a shitload of funerals. Questionable funerals. Was it suicide? Was it overdose of drugs? Was it bipolar? What the fuck happened? But people are dead. And the moms are so to Alexi, Ekukulete and stuff, they are left there confused. Like, what happened to my son?
And at this time when this is happening, you can see what's happening, but no one believes you.
I can see it, and I told people in time, we would be too careful, but we did not have these resources. They did not exist. If we had these resources some 20 years ago, we would have fixed it. But they just did not exist.
Yeah. So what makes you go against a big corporation like Get a Rough at the time, you know? who took you in, made you big, you became a cash cow, and you decided, you know what, I'm not get what I deserve. Juices, I'm leaving. At the time, do you think you made the right move in hindsight?
That's why. I'm from ghetto rough. I'm from a ghetto that's very rough.
You're a product of that.
Zola.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm ghetto rough before ghetto rough.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I needed back then in the days, you couldn't license yourself. You needed to get a record deal.
Oh, okay. You couldn't just go on the internet and post your song.
You couldn't.
Yeah.
So now when you get a record deal, it depends which end of the stick are you getting?
Yeah.
Right? There's this thing they call fine print.
100%.
People can fuck you up.
Yeah.
Really good. Uze uvuke uthole ukuthi
I'm not next.
they own 80% of your shit. and then sometimes you wake up after 20 years and find out that somebody owns most of your work.
And it's on fine print.
Yeah, what we call intellectual property.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then when you try to reverse that and fight that back, things can end up very badly. A court, like in Zokai example, there was something written about me leaving Itatako.
Oh, yes.
Okay. But nobody knows why I left Itatako. That a kid called me who intellectually owned it.
What?
And asked me if was I the owner of Itatako, and I said, no, I'm not the owner of Itatako, but I confronted a couple of people, including trying to talk to Ubasetsan, Mahalimel, to explain what the hell was happening here. Then I decided, morally, I should leave. Because Lenden's the guy wrong. But there's some kid out there that actually owns Itatako.
Wow.
And it was taken away from him. And then when I asked this girl, Polingana, she said, no, if you work for us, then everything that is in your brain, we own it.
Damn it.
Because this kid apparently was working for them.
And probably used their resources to come up with the idea.
But when it came out in the paper, they said, I have fatherhood issues. It wasn't that. It's the fact that I was talking to this child on the phone. And this guy was young. And this thing, if you get a contract like that, if it runs for 20 years, that means you're good for 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. They took it away from him. And there's no way I can prove it unless that kid gives me a call. Because not only did he went and signed with another channel. So this kid was pre-commissioned before shooter. And then this kid called me and said, I've got paperwork. You see, that's how horrible things can be.
Yeah.
Abantu babukele izinto TV and they call it entertainment. Almost as if you could do a section of your show and call it the backstory.
Behind the story.
Yeah. Behind the story behind the story.
Yeah.
And find out from people what exactly is happening in this industry. So I'm endlini because ngiyahlanya. It's because I don't feel like working for now.
And that's it.
And I will not work until I find a company that is honest, that is willing to pay me what I need to be paid, that is willing to take my ideas and make them my intellectual property, sign down on it. I now know about the fine print, right? And then I can go and work for my kids. Otherwise, I'm gonna vary.
How much, at the height of your career, how much was Get It Rough making from you?
That's the thing I was trying to find out 2 months back at Samro.
Yeah.
All they had to do at Samro was to turn the screen around and show me how much Ghetto Rough is still making out of me. And they told me which they can't. So as an artist like South Africa, when you go to Samro and you ask them to show you the numbers, they actually refuse. So nobody knows how much they are making. That is why I was telling you earlier on, there was a story on Amanda Black that she was saying, I don't know where he podcast, but she was saying, how difficult her life has been. Right? And so Amanda Black had a monster album. So the question is, what happened to her money? I've never even met her. What happened to Fifi Cooper's money? Fifi Cooper comes to my house all the time.
Yeah.
Okay. But why are these people not millionaires? Because each and every one of them should be sitting easily on 10 million collecting dust. Why are they not millionaires? What happened?
But we seem to see this movie over and over again, man.
Yeah.
You know, it's till this day. I mean, I was chilling with MT, same thing.
Yeah.
He was performing like 6 gigs a night, winning awards. He was like the biggest thing in town, getting paid $15,000 a month.
Never mind the 6 gigs a month. I mean, like a night. Sometimes those 6 gigs are 5 hours apart.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have to drive to Krugerstock. Mawuqeda ukudilika stage immediately. Ungene emotweni. Siya eMpumalanga. Mawuqeda ukudilika stage immediately. Ungene emotweni siya KZN. Okay? So in a weekend, you can do over 24 hours of driving. Or more. Okay? But still, imali yakho is not being declared. With how much money exactly are you getting? Whereby ngizovuka one day and discover ukuthi, I thought ngiholi 15,000 with deductions. And only to discover ukuthi uZola is worth 80,000 on stage.
Yeah. And that's how much they're quoting.
Because omunye umama wangithuka yabona safika late showing. Solo mama lona, she was like, yeah, for somebody I'm paying 60,000, you shouldn't be doing this. And mina ngangime ngaphandle gating. Ngilinde ukuthi ikari izofika izongilanda. Ikari yafika late. Okay, then sahamba ke, I think sasiya eMpumalanga. Sawu-perform eMpumalanga. Solo mama lona, mayiqeda ukusho lento lena. I went and I found her and discovered ukuthi uyi-MEC. I was like, mama, ngicela urepeat lento ishilo kimi. So like, I paid you 60,000. I was like, do you have proof? Paperwork? She was like, I do have proof paperwork. So I went to a hotel room and then she showed me. I was like, oh, so Zola is worth 60,000.
At the time.
That was like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I didn't know this. And then more confronting company, then the company at Alia Colos. So I'm artist back the country, they don't know how much they are worth. The only thing is people are risking losing cars and losing houses.
Do you own your masters?
Yeah?
Do you own your masters?
I'll find out.
So till this day, you don't know?
No, the ones I have now, I own.
Oh, okay.
I've been recording for 20 years.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got enough music. If I die today, my children will be able to release an album of mine every year for the next 50 years.
Oh, dope.
Yeah.
Dope.
I got those.
Can I feature in the songs?
You may not feature. I will not be used again. It's not gonna happen. But I'm an artist buyer. The younger ones, they come to my house and we sit down and I talk to them. Lucky most of the time, I'm able to stop them before they sign.
What do you think the solution is, man? Because we've seen this movie too many times, bro.
It's like this thing, okay, podcast. Now people need to do things for themselves. Okay? Into important ilana ukuba with a strong team. You must have people who believe in you. Okay? About cameramen.
Yeah.
Once you have a strong team, then you can do things yourself. Other than, I hear you young, dumb people talking about the crew.
Yes.
This is my crew. The word crew comes from the shipping industry. Okay? A crew, when everybody is on a ship, everybody has a purpose. Otherwise, you may not be in the ship.
I see.
That's where the word crew comes from. You can't just be having guys hanging around in a makapula and they call themselves a crew. Like, why are you here? Why are you in my car? Why are you traveling with me? Why are you getting VIP access through me? Like, if you call yourself a crew, what exactly are you here for?
What are you contributing?
Yeah, what are you contributing? So the crew, and shit as well. Back in the days in Mississippi, they used to carry manure.
Yes.
Down the river.
Yeah.
So the crates were stinking because they were fecal matter. Okay? So they used to put them on top of the ferries.
Okay.
So the crates were written SHIT, which means ship high in transit. Before that, the word shit did not exist.
Yeah.
Wow. Understand? So we need to get deep into things.
Where do you read that, man? Where do you know that?
I've been reading, man. I've been reading for years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's ship high in transit.
Damn it.
And fuck means fornication under consent of the king.
You lying.
When men went to war and many men died, a king would order all the girls to be pregnant. It was called fornication under consent of the king. That's where FUCK comes from.
I've been saying fuck all my life. I didn't even know what it meant.
It's not vulgar.
Yeah. You fucking with my mind, Zola.
No,
You fucking with my mind.
I'm not your average Kwaito Joe.
Shit. Wow, man. Are you cool with Lunston?
Lance has got a special place in hell. Like where there's most coal. That's where he's gonna go and burn. He's destroyed so many people, it's not funny. He's unable to destroy me, but I know a lot of things about other artists. The ones that I even found, I found Ed Getoraf before me, okay? And they are way older than me, and they have nothing to show.
Yeah.
So he's got a special place in hell.
You haven't seen him, spoken to him?
No, but he's been speaking to people who are trying to speak to me. We know for a fact that some of the things, or most of the things that happened in the media actually came through him, because immediately he leaves the office, Media 24, journalists start calling me, Ute, Lance was here, and he was doing this. So that's what he does. He tries to destroy people. If you decide to leave, like you've seen with many companies that we will not mention.
Yeah.
If you decide to leave, funky things start happening to you.
Yeah.
So
It's a sad reality.
Yeah, that's basically what's happening. And a lot of people, I think, have learned from Lance, and they're using that trick to try and destroy other people. So you may sign with me as an artist.
Yeah.
But you may not leave. Even if you decide that you're growing up and you want to start your own record label, if you decide to do that, I'm going to do everything in my power to destroy you. That's what they do.
Weren't you scared to go head to toe with him?
Yeah?
Because if I was you, I would have said, hey, okay, cool, man. Just give me my salary. It's fine, man. Hey, whatever, bro.
Talk, do you have any idea what would happen if I ended up in one room with him? You need to go toe-to-toe with people. I mean, what is the whole point of fighting apartheid and winning against apartheid? Because it got to a point where people were pissed off and it was enough.
Yeah.
And this is about maybe 500 years later. And then people fought, and that's how we ended up with 1994, which is the first black inaugurated man, Nelson Mandela, to become a president of a country.
Yeah.
South Africa, which we were very late because other countries were long liberated.
Yeah.
Okay? Dala Bashona Bosamara Mashed and stuff. But the whole idea was to have a fighting spirit.
And having grown during apartheid and seeing how things are now, have they changed? Or is stuff still the same?
Not much.
Not much, ne?
Yeah.
Especially if you go to Cape Town, ne?
Not much.
Ne?
Not much. People still want to keep to their races. We still have our moms working in Makishini, but seven's majaritini. The bloody domestic workers. Our fathers are still gardeners. A shitload of foreigners are migrating from their countries because of discomfort coming to South Africa, which they've been doing from way back in the 60s. Okay, from the days of even before that, about Cecil John Rhodes, when they wanted to build the Cape to Cairo, and they needed a lot of labor workers to go work in the mines. So people have been migrating to South Africa forever. So much that South Africa almost does not have borders. Okay, and this is our history as Black people. Any one of us could be related to a Mozambican or a Zimbabwean. Yeah, because I grew up in Soweto. We've been living with Mozambicans and Zimbabweans forever.
Yeah.
Okay? Any one of them could be my relative. That's what Cape to Cairo basically was, to build a railway track from Cape to Cairo to take all the wealth of Africa out of Africa into Europe. That was what Cape to Cairo, that was Cecil John Rhodes' vision. Hence, that country was called Rhodesia before it was called Zimbabwe, because it was named after him. That is why Congo will never recover, because of King Leopold, who completely destroyed that country. That is why we as Black people in this country cannot fully recover, because of what apartheid did to us.
How do we combat it? How do we fight it?
We change the mindset.
And how do we do that?
Well, the kids must go to school. It's no longer about us.
Yeah.
The next generation must be fine-tuned. Why do you have this here?
Aubryn said he wants them here.
This is 1996.
Yeah.
Young Communicators Awards was the South African champion.
Yeah.
Speech contest. I think I'm the second Black kid doing that.
Shit.
Public speaking.
Yeah, public speaking. This is...
How nice of you to join us, Sol.
Artist of the Year, MTN Summer. I tell you why I brought this here.
Yeah.
And all of you listen to me. There's a problem when a Black child tries so much, but there's no incentive. Black kids get fuck all. No matter how many goals you score, no matter how many debating sessions you win, Black kids get fuck all. They don't bring certificates home, nothing. So it's messing up with the psychology. How can I score 2 goals at school and win a speech contest and I bring home nothing? That is why then you get a lot of people being forced to take their kids to the so-called private schools, because there are things that private schools offer that since 1994, Black schools at Kasi still do not offer. Therefore, it messes up with the psychology. So this is the first trophy I ever won. Everything else came after this one. If only a Black child in the neighborhood could bring something home like this, it would stimulate them then to become Zola, then to win the summer awards and the metros and everything. But it started with that plastic trophy.
Is it true they didn't want to give you a Lifetime Achievement Award at the Summers?
I think I got one from the metros. Channel O.
But not the Summers?
I don't know. I have no idea. People talk.
So what's your South African dream then? Or African dream? In a perfect world for you?
In a perfect world, there would not be borders, first of all. In Africa, it would be the USA, the United States of Africa.
Cheers. Love that.
Yeah.
Love that.
And we could roam and travel freely, and we could own our mineral wealth, and we could benefit from it. And then there's a lot of us that need to go back to farming. Less shopping in shops, more farming. There's things that we need to relearn that I think as Africans we've lost. And then there would be a lot of kids that need to go to school, even if they don't use that education, but if they could just get it, then we would change how we function. You must remember this one thing that apartheid completely missed out on, and they didn't pick it up. Apartheid was fighting sober black women. There was a shitload of them. Their fathers were in exile. Some fathers were in shallow graves. Some fathers were in Robben Island. So apartheid missed out on this one little thing, that they were fighting a shitload of sober black women. They completely missed it. Had they managed to get a black woman drunk in somewhere like 1963, you and I would have been the third generation of children born with a natural alcohol. Yeah, alcohol fetal syndrome.
I think I've got that one, me.
Yeah. If they wanted to destroy us, they should have had a black woman drunk from the 60s. They would have won a long time ago. They wouldn't even have been a fight.
So we owe our freedom to sober black women.
Yeah. We owe our freedom to our grandmothers who were very sober. But that is why more Kulumanga Women's Day. If you check all of those women there, and you check what they did confronting the apartheid system, knowing that they would have been shot. And it was very possible, but they did it anyway.
Apart from all the violence and, you know, how fucked up apartheid was,
Yeah.
can you not appreciate the genius of the system?
The art of war.
Yeah.
You must know your enemy.
Yeah.
You must know all of his weapons and all of his fighting strategies and all of his turfs and everything. So it's very important for us to know apartheid and understand why it existed so long and why it still does. The book called The Art of War talks about that. Credo Mutua talks about that. There's no way you can go to war with a guy that you don't understand how he's coming to F you up.
Yeah.
So it was very important. It's still important for all of us to understand what apartheid is and was about, and how we ended up not owning land. And the minority of people who are white now own all the land and all the mineral wealth. Then you'll understand why some wars across this continent have not ended in about 40 years. People are still fighting and killing each other. 40, 50 years later. If South Africa went into a civil war in 1994, you and I would have been generals by now in a military somewhere. That's why some white people ran away, they went to Texas, and some white people ran away and went to Perth because they were not prepared to be ruled by black men. So when you go to Perth in Australia, it's an entire community that speaks Afrikaans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then what do you think about, you know, like black on black crime that still happens today in terms of us not supporting each other? Because I think another way we can combat this is keeping the rand together, for example, you know, and supporting each other. Because if you do that, then what money does the white people have?
Buy black, support black, stop writing Zola's music, okay? If you've ever written any of my music illegally, then you owe me $50, which is probably amounts to a couple of millions. We need to support black business, and we need to support black ideas. And some fossils, some dinosaurs need to retire. I'm beginning to get a feeling that nobody listens to black youth anymore. People are too old and too safe and too traditional. They are no longer listening to what the black youth wants to say. And they forget to go to Bona in 1976. They were the same youth. And they needed to be listened to. And now they don't. It's now girls need to pass sexual favors to get things going. I'm a couch interview. Okay, it's difficult now to get a bursary nowadays. It's difficult to go and sell your idea to a channel and go somewhere. So what is happening is that black on black violence is huge because there are just people in here who just specialize in killing dreams. Okay, and at the same time, I was listening to some young lady here who was telling me, Uguti, you know what you guys are not looking into is the fact, Uguti, there's a black woman on black woman violence. I was like, what are you talking about? She was like, it's very difficult to be corporate. You just get an older woman making life difficult for you because you are younger, more. So forget about you guys abusing women. Other women abuse us. I was like, oh, I didn't see it like that. I'm like, yeah. You just go to work to cry and get disappointed and come back home feeling like you need to take a shower because you feel dirty. Coming from other women. So, also, women need to look into themselves much as we are looking into ourselves.
Yeah.
Okay? And see if you were a woman at age 40, would you be willing to mentor a woman at age 20 and grow her as a sister and get her somewhere? So I dialogue here too. We've got so many subjects and topics that we need to talk about as black people.
Why do you care so much about this?
Okay, if you and I have a car accident today, what are we gonna leave behind?
You leave a lot, not me, not so much.
Okay, babe. I've got 7 kids.
Yeah.
Amongst them, 5 of them are girls. So the world needs to be fixed before I leave. So that my kids are safe there.
Yeah.
But you and I, as black men with this injury, we are also fathers to millions of kids that we'll never meet. But they are there and they exist. That's a whole idea of being a people.
Yeah.
This country needs to stay safe. It needs to be fixed. It needs to be economically viable. All the kids need to go back to school. We need to maintain our social grant and everything. As a model country for other countries.
Oh,
those are things that we are. There we have no choice, Tsotia.
All right, let's talk about the music, man. All right, cool. Hey.
Come on.
Hey, I remember I was watching that
Hello, Pink Lady.
I was watching this thing you did with Casper.
Yeah?
Of how you recorded Nyabonga Power. And I could just tell, man, you're in your zone, you're in your element. You didn't even write that shit down, bro.
Nah. It's
Let me move the mic for you there.
it's one of those things where sometimes Moses studio kufika nje energy. And then the energy lena mayifika, it's almost as if my lyrics hayazwakala.
What energy was that day?
The first thing you need is ice cracking.
Yeah.
Fanele splome qala sitshele.
Okay.
As a machita.
Yeah.
And then the song will lead us. So masi happy splomile studio. The song will be happy. If we want what I said, the song may be sad. And if we feel like gangster, the song may go gangster.
So Casper hit you up, said come through.
Yeah, it been hitting me for a while. Mara, I need to be sick. I need to in epilepsy.
Okay.
Okay, I think I got diagnosed about 3 years ago. So I couldn't go to him.
What's epilepsy? Which one is that one?
I'm epileptic.
Yeah.
I fall. I faint a much.
Oh, you're lying.
Yeah.
Hey, we don't want that, eh?
Yeah. It
For real.
happens.
What is that? Lack of what?
No, epilepsy, you are born with it, but it may show up later on in life.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or it can show up much early in life. It's just that I'm on seriously heavy medication. So bad, Oprah was begging me to come here because I actually couldn't.
Wow. Thank you for coming, man.
Yeah, so
When did it start? When did you start falling? When was the first time you fell?
about 3 years back.
First time you fell?
Yeah.
What was happening?
I wouldn't know. I'll just wake up after 2 hours and I'm here on the floor.
Damn.
I just fall. Sometimes it doesn't even warn me. We could be talking like this. Do you remember that thing the media was trying to push about me having a car accident?
Yeah,
and stuff?
recently, yeah.
Yeah. That was epilepsy.
Yeah.
So ingibambe mangiqeda ukuphuma eZola ngene quiz. Unfortunately ngiwane ekareni. Yangilahla phansi. Hlangana namabonda kanje. Chayisa ikar, I think I picked up some 60,000 extra money because in Shama radiator, Kitama radiator. In fact, in Sizwe into 10. Yeah, busy ambulance. So, and unfortunately, bengavanga ekari muntu because before that, yangsha ekari yami. So ikari yami yalimala. So bengihamba ngemoto omunye umuntu yangiphinda futhi. So officially, you'll never see me in a steering wheel again.
Yeah. For your own safety as well.
Oh, everybody's safety on the road. Because mangenzeke freeway lento lena kushuthi ngizochayisa ikari zabantu la. Ngenza yonke lento and kunama because it's a chronic illness. Kunezinto esingakazicave yabona sesiyazi kancane nge-HIV siyacava kancane nge-COVID-19, but there's other illnesses that
What else do you suffer from? Do you suffer from like bipolar? No bipolar.
I've never been. I was only diagnosed by the media. The media are very good at diagnosing. They're very, very, very good.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm perfectly fine because angithi ma epilepsy kufanele ushabo CT scan, kufanele uyomita i-neurologist.
So mentally we fine, eh?
Yeah, bangifaka intambo la khanda la nezibhaya bangichecka and then the checker they only said ukuthi I have too much electricity in my body, and then this doctor said uvuke njalo ekuseni and walk for 1 hour. So that's what I do.
Oh, nice.
I walk for 1 hour bese ngibuyele endlini. But these are all new things to me because I need to adjust to them because I've never really been sick at life.
Have you ever suffered from depression?
Is there anybody who hasn't? Is there a human being in this room that can tell me that you've never suffered or suspected depression?
Me, no.
I don't think. I think a lot of people have suffered from depression. It's just that they don't know it. Because until you get diagnosed with it, like professionally, you may not know whether you have it or not. So it would be safe for...
What was happening at the time? How did you know?
Yeah?
How did you know that this is depression?
No, I didn't know it's depression, but all I know is that I just spent a lot of time at home, like abnormally a lot of time at home. When people were asking, Zola. I was listening to everybody. I was listening to Rainer, but I stayed at home. I didn't feel like going out. I didn't feel like taking shows. I'd walk a mini. I didn't feel like doing television jobs. I'd just stay at home.
What were you doing at home? What were you doing at the time? Are you reading?
No, I was just chilling in my garden. I'm a cheetah boy, because every day I was on bona, but I just stayed home. Like, it does get to a point where you don't even want to be famous.
Yeah. Do you think there's a difference between fame and prison?
Fame and prison? What do you mean?
In terms of like when you're famous, right? It feels some sort of like a prison because you have to do these certain things, live a certain way, move a certain way. You kind of like stop being yourself. You stop being Bonginkos and start being Zola 7 because people expect Zola 7.
We drive tinted windows cars.
Yeah.
Where I could park here and nobody would even know what I'm here.
Yeah. Do you want to drive tinted window cars?
No.
Exactly, that's what I mean.
Yes, then in that way it can become a prison. And that's when you need to surround yourself with very positive, strong-minded people so that when you fall, when you crash, when you crumble, there are other people who take care of you, even if they have to hide you for that time.
Yeah.
Even if it's 6 months. They have to hide you until you recover over grand. You see this? I was 42, I'm 32 now. I lost a lot of weight over the past 1 year.
Yeah.
I was extremely sick. I was home. I was shaking, I was sweating. Opren was there every day, looking after me. Not a single day in gym. It just happened naturally. And that's when then we had to go and see a neurologist and stuff and everything. There's another nice guy there called Dr. Korasi who had to check me and stuff, who sends them a blood test, about CT scan and all of those things. Because now everybody around me was afraid, Uguti, I'm going to join the rest of the clan. I'm going to die too and end up at Heroes Acre. And I couldn't eat well. But bengiphuza amaheu, bengidla ifishi, bengiphuza umdoko and stuff and everything. But most of the solids I couldn't. And then it took me to seriously recover. And there's a guy called Dr. Sebi.
Oh,
Yes. I got a lot of the natural things from him, and those put me back up.
Yeah. That's great, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to him, man.
Yeah. May he rest in peace. I hear he died.
Damn it.
Yeah, so it was a lot of that. It actually, some of it came from a Durban. I had to sit off those. Nowadays, I have to take a medication exen. I have to take a medication dambama. I'm a pilisai to exen. I'm a pilisai to dambama. Just to get by. So what you see, you think is normal. But if I don't take that medication, I would not even be able to walk from that car to come here.
But that's what I'm saying. That song you did with Casper is so special because it sounds to me like you're praying in the.
I was actually very sick during that song. You should ask him.
Yeah.
I think we did like Amakata at 25. Yeah. And then after that, I had to go straight to the hotel and sleep.
Yeah.
But the song needed to be done. The video needed to be done.
Yeah.
Because what you put out there in public, I don't want to depress people. And so on. So I was fighting to look normal, but I wasn't. I was actually extremely very sick during that video.
Sure.
I was so sick, Uguti, one day in court, I couldn't go. I had to call and cancel.
That's how bad it was.
Yeah, that's how bad it was.
What do you think about the music scene right now?
The music scene? I think the music scene is good, but I think that it's not moving. I'm not seeing South Africa becoming more of an international industry. But I also see a lot of South Africans doing music for themselves on their own ever since the industry changed, which is safe, good, provided you know how to distribute properly. You can get somewhere very quickly.
Yeah. What do you think about these rappers that try to sound American instead of, trying to keep it local, like a Questa or a Casper, for example?
I'd rather shut up on that one.
Are you sure? I'm sure. Why? They're not going to like what you're going to say. They're not going to like what you're going to say.
Uncle Zola may break some hearts. So
Yeah.
let's shut up on that one.
Who do you think is going to be the next superstar, like the next Zola? Because we haven't seen a Zola in a while. I think Casper might be the closest thing since. Yeah. But who do you see now as like that reminds you of you?
There can only be one me, but people must invent themselves and become themselves. I do see Casper going international. I also see Questa going international as well. But I also think Uguti, there's a couple of people that we haven't had enough of them. Like Abom Zambia. They need to drop something. I feel Uguti, the energy I got pale. Maybe they might have been depressed by the music industry and stuff, but I feel Uguti they could drop something, revive themselves and maintain it. I myself owe the public something.
Yeah.
Just let me recover, because I'm dealing with my health, okay? But I have enough songs. I myself owe myself something, but at the same time, I've seen Uguti, the music industry, going back to your question, it's changed. So I've adjusted a bit. I mean, you guys now got these things. You got all of this. The cameras used to be this big. It feels like you're carrying a baby. Everything has gone compact and smarter and cleaner
and smaller.
And stuff. And so, like, I know, Guti, I need to adjust a bit. If I decide to go back on television, specifically television, which is one of my greatest passions, that means I'll have to go by Lama 5D lawa and forgetting high definition lawa because now and they get them smarter and they pack more information and all of those things and it makes it easier to travel. All that I'll have to have a conversation with corporate. See if Utinale can give me one of these X5s. So I can drive.
I mean, you're not driving anymore. You're not driving anymore.
Somebody will drive me. But like all of those things, everything has changed now. And it's that's why sometimes Mangbugeli TV, I'm like, somebody's shooting with an old camera. So things are crisper and clearer now and stuff. It's all of those things that are needed. So we can't do those things, without the aid of corporate and the state.
100%.
Not him dead.
Yeah.
We can't. We black people is pumekas. Like we need to buy all of these cameras and buy all of these lights. I see our LED light, our fun now. All of those things. We and shoot. But at the same time, shoot. It's pointless having all of these cameras unless you have good content.
Yeah.
I have a problem with the things I see on TV now. It's like just somebody is out there to just expose black people.
How did the Zola 7 concept come about? Is that your IP?
Way back.
Yeah.
Way back. But before Zola 7, ben shooter Zola on 5. But Zola on 5 was just conversation.
Yes.
It wasn't being physically involved.
Yeah.
But then MacG Zola 7, because I was young, then I could afford to travel.
So you came up with that idea?
Which is why I have a lot of ex-girlfriends, because I was never home.
And babies.
And 7 kids.
And 7 kids.
I was actually parenting army or have a child in parenting army because I'm never home.
Yeah.
Okay.
Standard.
Ngiyangena kanje endlini ngiyadlula ngiyoshower ngiyaphuma. God.
Yeah.
That's so. Izola 7 inkhostile kancane.
Yeah.
But it was fine because I was young.
Yeah.
Until khona enye party yabona. Benabo choose about 12 and they were all bachelors.
Yeah.
Igama lawo Jesus Christ. I'm one of those.
That's funny.
Kabang iparezi 12 ziyatrapa ngeimbatata. 12 niggas.
Oh, shit.
You know, there's no record with any one of them got married.
Yeah. Till this day.
So unfortunate.
Let's talk about Zola 7, man. That was a game changer, bro. Like, I think that made South Africa fall in love with you. Like, from young, old, white, whatever.
Do you think I should do it again?
I think you should, man. Why not?
Dope. Because my phone is ringing off the hook.
Yeah. Is it true, season 8, you had to pay it for yourself?
Yeah, I did.
4.5 million.
5
million. Why did you have to do that?
Because it needed to stay there. There was a conversation, and the conversation was like, later on, but shoot, and I had a lot of employees that needed to get paid. So I needed to shoot, man, but I was also warming up to the idea of owning my own company. And seeing can I do this thing on my own? And it was heavy, but it got done because I had the right people. And so massive with Zola 7, unfortunately, some horrible things happened. I wanted to check a woman called Usbongiseni Kabata. That woman that was found last year, chopped up, a Kailich, she was my PA. So I sometimes feel Uguti, had Zola 7 not ended, there would have been no need for her to leave, and she'd probably be still alive. So, as in Thomas Zenzega, a TV in our music industry, they have this thing we call a ripple effect.
Yeah.
They affect other things and other people, and they can continue for years.
And did you get your money back, your 5 million?
I don't remember. I'll have to ask. I'll have to ask Nkambule about that.
Yeah.
Good, did I get my 5 million back? If I didn't get it back, we're getting it back.
Yeah.
And then she'll buy SUV and now enjoy it.
Clean.
Siyabangena. Siyabangena mtakama.
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember watching one episode, and you did you did an episode with that lady who was an opera singer, and then you guys did "Don't Cry." That was powerful. That episode. I was watching it with my mother.
You know what's also very important about that episode? That's when we introduced Tasso to the public. Impact Music. Yeah. That's also the same album where we found Tux.
Singang.
Yeah, Singanga. So I don't think that album was about me, eh?
Nah.
Yeah.
It wasn't,
It
bro.
had fuck all to do with me. There were other individuals that needed to be found. And Tasso is a very quick producer. Because literally that day, he kind of played me my entire album. It just did not have lyrics. He just had beats.
Oh, I see.
And I just listened to beats, and then we just went.
How did the Sanalwam, the song with Unati, come about? One of the greatest songs you...
Yes. Mantombazane, angaze ngijolo unathi ne? I insist on this, ne? I've been hearing stories out there.
You wish you had. You wish you had.
Shut the fuck up. Where Papa was.
Yeah.
It's just that the chemistry was absolutely nice, because what was happening is that I was actually driving. I think we saw way too.
Yeah.
Then Unati was on radio. This is even before Babum Sengan, way back before Babum Sengan. And then she sang and she hit a note. And then I got into the studio and I said, Gulans, you better find me this girl. There's something I heard. It was like the African version of Lauryn Hill.
Wow. What a compliment.
Yeah. So they got her into the studio and I could see that she's shy. So samenzeli coffee, then I started moto ngavaya. After I sang that verse, and then I came back and she was done with it. And then wavaya and then say mixa. Now, if you remember carefully, I think that song is from 10 City. That's the way love is.
Good, that's the way.
That's the way love is. I grew up with it. It was always in my ear. And then side dropper, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
It became a monster.
Still is.
Yeah. It became a very huge song. Now, in the advantage, because the song sounded familiar to them. And then the young people, the song sounded familiar. So there was no need to market that song.
Yeah.
It just blew up.
Is that your favorite song you've ever done?
Nah.
Mzembe.
The favorite song I've ever done, I still can't finish up to now. You can come to my studio and listen to it.
Hey, that must be heat.
Nah, each time I try to record it, I just cry and then I leave it there.
Wow.
And then go back into the house.
What's it about?
Huh?
What's it about, the song?
It's about my mysterious son that I have not seen in a couple of years.
True story.
True story.
You got a mysterious son.
He did live in Joburg, and then he ended up in KZN, and I've not seen him in years. And so each time I try to finish that song, I can't. I've finished a lot of songs except that one.
Wow.
What's his name?
Huh?
What's his name?
Kamala Kuntatagusa Liyama Dlamini.
How old is he?
This year
Yeah.
should be about 10.
So the baby mama won't give you access?
No, it's not that. It's the fact that I've been there several times and just nobody opened the gate. And my son was here in Joburg. And then one day I drove to see him, Crest, and then I got there and I found an empty flat. And that was it.
Hectic.
So he better not come back one day, 10 years from now, and ask me things I won't be able to answer. I'll try as a dad. But it just, these things happen, man.
Yes.
So we all carry some kind of a burden inside. Some are way too painful, some are light. Some are just mysterious, but it will probably be the same situation that happened between me and my dad. We'll probably have a conversation. And then I'll tell him my side of the story.
If he was sitting here right next to you, what would you say to him?
Hmm?
If he was sitting here right next to you, what would you say to him?
I'd just hold him. I think he'd be too young to understand. He's identical to me.
Is it? So you didn't close your eyes?
There's another Mzolist around. The little fucker.
Before I want to talk about your acting quickly, ne? Because for me, but I'll tell you now. Before we go into acting,
Yeah.
Yeoville, Berea, what was happening back in the days when you were coming up, bro? Which stars came from there, man?
You mean when Yeoville was a suburb?
Yeah.
Say it.
When Yeoville was a suburb.
Yes. Yeoville was a suburb.
What was going? Because it sounds lit, man.
Everybody was there.
Yeah.
About Tandi Swamazwai, everybody. There was a place that Pana called the Times Square, where we all used to hang. About Mendoza, about Jasidi, everybody was there. And then what happened is that there was the Mandela Bridge.
Yeah.
And then some of us crossed over. Some of us didn't.
Yeah.
The trick was the Mandela Bridge.
Yeah.
Who's crossing over, who's not.
Yeah.
And then there were studios there. There were a lot of Americans, there were a lot of South Africans, a lot of Zimbabweans. It was a melting pot of something amazing. And then it just,
decimated.
yeah, it became something else because Kumbula Utu Evo had the studio in the same building upstairs at Times Square. So here's the thing one day, there was something called the chicken basket, ne? And we're sitting there, we're having chicken basket, lots of booze.
Yeah.
So we are figo sis Brenda. Utu Brenda. Otan, mokodin. Ay, siya otan afana. Otan amanya chicken basket. Ay, siya kaula. My God, sis Brenda, ya sugumati. And didn't they good? Batalan. You can never take it away from Brenda. You can never. Esa salas kamsile him mandoza. No Brandesh. She was driving a green RAV4.
Yeah.
One guy named Otona. So salas me. But just the fact you were sitting with Brenda.
Wow.
It was something amazing. Yo. You gotta miss it. It's unfortunate if you didn't meet her. If you didn't have a 5-minute conversation with her.
Yeah.
She was something. I don't know why she didn't become a TV presenter.
Eish. I wish I grew up in those days. It sounds like you guys were having fun, man. It just sounds like it was just good times, bro.
Fame was something else then. It wasn't important. And no less than 5 years ago, you could fill up this car with 500 rands. So the economy was amazing.
Music was amazing.
Everything was just amazing. But the economy, people were not exactly poor. There was money on the table. You were good in 100 rand.
Yeah. Good times, man.
Yeah.
Tell me about your acting career, because I remember seeing the scene you did of Papa Action that made me not ever want to do drugs. When you're in prison and you're having those withdrawal symptoms, I'm like, hey, I'm never doing this shit. Hey, that scene was intense, bro.
Guys, I wasn't hot. I was skinny and hungry. I was just hungry.
Yeah.
You know, like sometimes more shy acting, you need to go back and do your homework. Find out withdrawal syndromes, what happens in that situation and stuff, and then they break it down to you, and then you go and reflect on all of that before you can act it. So it also required a lot of homework. But at that time, when I was acting in prison, I was actually with people who were in prison for real, and they were my age. So these extras you see behind me, those were actually real guys in prison.
Wow.
So they'll break down other things to us and explain ukuthi marabe bengasikhathe nyawupe man ngakusesekhona ingidi. Uyangithola? Ingidi you could leave it anytime ufuna. Nyawupe became a
monster.
A horrible story. And then kwangena bokhethi
cocaine.
You know, must figure your vel. Nase Hillbro. Cocaine was actually a white man's problem. It had nothing to do with blacks.
You couldn't afford it.
No. It was just a white people's thing. And then eventually it started easing into now black people.
Especially in the entertainment industry.
Yeah, nabokhethi and stuff, because siyamix angithi it's all sorts of races and stuff and everything. And then mang joina UNICEF. when I was the ambassador for UNICEF. So basically what they do is that they take you to a course where they teach you about drugs. So you can't mention drugs without mentioning human trafficking. And then fecal matter, because people poop it, drugs. Okay? And then how it takes money away from people, prostitution. So it's all of it combined. So that's basically how the society fell. And then...
And you never did any drugs?
No.
Just...
Fuck that shit. I ain't gonna take anything that somebody shat and put up my nose.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do it. And then when you get deeper into the continent, you start finding out that drugs are actually associated with civil wars. These boys, before they can go kill people, they need to smoke. So it may be in like South Africa, a recreational drug. But in another country, it's actually a drug of choice for people who go to war.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
That's the only way you can deal with such trauma.
Yeah, that's the only way you can deal with such trauma. So they don't go kill people by sober. And then go wipe out a village. That's what you learn when you are a member of UNICEF. Because they show you everything, what's happening in the continent.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, drugs have brought death. South Africa, there's crime, yes. Some of them, I know them as street kids. They are now street men.
Yeah. Street men.
Yeah. But in other countries, it's actually a drug that's associated with an AK-47.
Spirituality or religion, which side of the fence are you on? Are you spiritual or religious?
What's the difference?
I don't know, you tell me.
Isn't spirituality religious? Isn't religion spirituality? Unless you want to talk mazango and stuff and everything.
Yeah, what does that fall under?
Huh?
What does that fall under?
It's how we use English. Okay? Whereby, if somebody is a sangoma, they say it's traditional and cultural. But if somebody is Christian, they say it's religion. It means somebody is downgrading somebody. You understand? 100%. Why must it be cultural when I slaughter, okay, in my house? Why must it be religious if a Jewish person slaughters? You understand?
100%.
So English is hulara is about that because somebody went and said whatever we are doing is cultural and whatever they are doing is religious. What we do is also religion.
I get you.
You guys have heard of something called ishwama, ne?
Yes.
Ishwama.
Yeah.
Yes.
No trauma.
Ngesixhosa xa uxhela le nyama ela ibizwa ngoba ngumshwamo. It's exactly the same word. And it's also considered very pure. So kuneshwama, kunomshwamo. It's the same word. Okay? And then in isiZulu, if something is strange to me, I say ngiyayishwama lento. So mawuhlaba imbuzi nama-parts. Okay? Isikhanti lesi. Okay? Kunezinto la eyisikwayo and lezi zinto lezo zidliwa by certain age, certain sexes and certain hierarchy. So we do exactly what other people do, but Tina they call it culture. Theirs they call religion. So you can't differentiate it. It's exactly the same. Whether you say it's spirituality or you say it's cultural or it's religion, it's exactly the same.
Yeah. And what do you practice? Do you practice religion or culture, whatever? I don't even know what word to use now.
Mina ngema ngaphandle kuseni ngo-3 o'clock ngikhulume noNkulunkulu or ngishisa impepho if I feel like it. Mangiqeda lapho bese ngiyahamba ngendlini ngiyogeza. Mangiqeda ukugeza bese ngiyadabula ngiyala ngiyakho. Yeah. But I do not allow any book to influence me.
Yeah.
Because as in Yingwati, they really look down on black people.
Yeah. Don't they all?
Yeah, they really look down on black people.
Do you still have industry friends?
Industry?
Friends.
Hey, are they still friends now or they family?
Oh, the family.
It's been too long, eh?
Nah. Who's part of your family now?
Jeez. Let's go ask Mendoza. And grab a couple of candles, go to Pro Kid and Jeba and Mendoza. I know where they lie. There isn't a single day I don't think of them.
Wow.
In fact, to Jeba, I suspected nothing because he used to come to my house and sit there. I might. So he was supposed to be the strongest of them all. So I was shocked when
you read.
when I heard it, what happened. Ulinda, I understand the story because Ulinda carried a lot of people, Pro Kid, like on his shoulder, because Nyazigo carried a lot of people. Yeah, you understand why he might have been stressed. And he did it when he was relatively young.
Which has a part to play as well.
Which has a part to play, but he was pretty young.
You're turning 47 this month. Are you excited?
How's my hair?
It's not too shabby. Not too bad.
It looks like a school uniform.
Yeah, it does.
Grayish, whitish.
Yeah, I'm not too sure.
Somewhere there.
Yes.
It's exciting, Mara. Finally, thinking day one, VV. Going back to Amajit. I don't remember what ages they died. Mara, I feel they left early. And I'm glad to be here. Because I would have been another state in army. And then you guys would have had to tell my kids who and what I was. I can sit here with you and tell my story. Amajita are gone and they left during the time before there was a podcast. So we don't know what they took with to the grave. So I appreciate being here.
No, we appreciate you, man. We appreciate you,
And
man.
my free coffee. What happened to my free coffee? Eh?
Yes, please tell people why we're here, because you wanted to shoot here.
Conino Lamborghini. This is black owned.
Yes.
By my boy Tinali. I wanted to come here because I want to redirect black people to come and buy cars in black dealerships.
Yeah.
That's very important.
He's the youngest owned, eh?
Not the other dealers.
Yeah.
Car dealers.
Yeah.
They're not the other dealers.
Not the other dealers, yeah. I know.
Yeah. So it's very important that people come here and buy cars here.
Yeah.
Which is so I just made you famous.
Yeah.
So I did a song.
Oh, Tinali.
Yeah,
Nice,
I did a song with
nice.
him. I'll play it as you play it as a background. Sing a producer manje.
What produce?
Yeah, producer manje. Ngithi producer the show.
Oh, clean. That's how we like it. I wanted to ask you, if things had gone your way, the way you wanted, how much do you think the Zola 7 brand would be worth right now?
Couple of billions by now.
Nah.
Yeah.
Dude, you.
But is it really worth money? Because I probably would have blown it on bursaries. I'm going to write a book. It's going to be called Anything But Sock.
Yeah.
So I built a library, Mthatha.
Oh, nice.
I wanted to build 9 of them across the provinces. I built a swimming pool, Mdeni, a children's home. I wanted to build 9 of them across the provinces, especially in Mpumalanga, because the heat there is amazing. Okay? So there's things that still need to be done, and there's a lot of them. The only thing at this step ngale library, ukuthi i-out eyangale library ne, yangka imali, about 5 million. Bayitubula le out. Yashona. And he was willing to give me more money to build other libraries, and apparently was shot in front of his wife. That's how horrible crime is.
Damn it.
The one man that was listening to my crazy ideas, bambamba ngensimbi, bullet ekasi 3 rand. That bought at the time I did. And then masebavule library le Mthatha, they never even flew the family to come and see what Daddy left.
Imagine.
So I'm sure ngabe siqedile manje ama library I-15 nama swimming pool I-15.
Zola 7, man, this has been such an honor for you to come through. I really appreciate this. Before we go, ne, when it's all said and done, what do you want to be remembered as?
I don't plan to be remembered yet. No, not now.
No. We just say.
Fuck that shit.
He's not done. You're not done.
No. I ain't going fucking nowhere.
Yeah. What do you want, Zola 7, man? The legacy. What are we leaving behind, man?
I gave some boy a huge amategi last week. My very brand new nice techies. But one tsipa I gave to this boy, and I said to this boy, what he needs to do is to pass it forward. That's what I want to be remembered for. If you're going to credit me for anything, pass it forward. Find a child like Aslako. Buy a school uniform for that child. Help that child go to a UJ or a UNISA. Then that's my legacy.
That's powerful.
Yeah. The future is not some place we are headed, but one we are creating. And the path to it changes both the maker and the destination.
Sure. Phela mina, I'm slow. I didn't get that one. I'm a bit slow, mina.
There's Peter, sonny.
It flew over me, that one.
It's a quote written by a guy called Roy Gutman.
Yeah. Aye. Zola 7, thank you so much, man. What are we working on? Are you getting back in the studio? You said obviously when you get better, ne?
Well, the studio is home.
Yeah.
So sometimes I crawl into the studio.
Yeah.
But I spend most of my time sleeping.
And TV? We're not getting back into TV.
I would, but depending what TV it is, I'd pretty much like to do something like Zola 7.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's needed.
It's very needed. Foot manje, it's more needed than anything
ever.
else.
Yeah.
So get the funding, we'll do this. I'll make you a producer.
Aye, clean.
Yeah.
So,
With
you got a
music,
question?
what happened that phase of Mabala Noise? Did you drop any music under those people? And is it true they were dishing out like 2 million checks?
I never got any money from Mabala Noise, and I never dropped any album with them.
Did you sign with them?
I don't remember. I just remember a very tight jacket.
Oh yeah, they gave him those jackets. All right, okay.
That I remember.
You know, everybody, the whole crew saw, even Big Zulu last week.
Yeah.
They were telling me, please, whatever you do, don't ask Zola a sex question. Because on my podcast, it's not a podcast unless I ask a sex question. So can I ask one? Just one.
Boy, I think I've been in TV longer than you.
Yeah.
Way longer than you.
Yeah.
I'm your elder.
Yeah.
You may not ask me that shit. My firstborn is going to varsity next year.
Ngiyabonga baba. Thank you so much, Zola. Thank you so much, man. We out here, podcast and chill. Boom.